Hey guys, how you doing? It's another week, which can very fully mean it's another rotation roundup, brought to you by me, Dallas900, aka the Experter. And this week, it is week 47, big week, a lot to cover, and by the way, I hope you like the new intro. I think it's friggin' awesome. Post what you think about it in the comments below. But anyway, enough about the intro, let's get on with today's rotation roundup, and let's get on with it. So first things first, this week it's a new week which can only mean one thing, a new champion rotation, oh yes. Now this week's champion rotation consists of the following champions: Blitzcrank, Malphite, Morgana, Nunu, Rise, Singe, Teemo, Kog'Maw, Swain, and Lee Sin, the Blind Monk. Ooh, this seems like a very interesting week this week. Now obviously we've got Blitzcrank, very good initiate, we have the Malphite, and we also have Nunu, and also with Singed, we got 4 pretty good tanky champions, how you build them. Nice to see Swain, nice to see him free this week, haven't seen him free for quite a while. Lee Sin being free can only mean one thing, you gotta be very careful because he is a blind monk. Teemo free, yay, everyone loves a Teemo. And obviously Rise, well, he's pretty much always free nowadays, isn't he? On a regular basis, probably not always free, but free from time to time. And so yeah, there's the rotation of this week. If you want to know why Riot Game picked the champions for this week, all you gotta do, follow that link in the description below and find out. Very good selection. They said she was here last week, but you know what, she is officially here this week because the champion and art spotlights are out for Oriana the Clockwork Girl. And OMG does she look good, I have to admit. Now could this possibly mean the Riot Games will no longer concentrate on making female champions with huge boobs? We'll see. But as for Oriana, she does look awesome. Check out her art spotlight and her champion spotlight, available now on the website. They are both awesome, and that also technically means that you gotta watch out for any Oriana players in the near future, because they're gonna have balls of fun. See what I did there? You probably don't know what I'm on about. Okay, let's move on to the next segment, shall we? And now, the special segment of this week is going to be a little bit of a new one this week. It is going to be asking the question. Now, what this basically means is I'm going to be asking you guys a question. I want you guys to answer this question in the comment section below, and then next week I will reveal answers, and also reveal your views on a particular subject that I want to bring up. So, the question this week is quite a simple one really. I want your guys' views on the Tribunal. Now, the Tribunal, obviously, if you don't know what it is, when you're level 30, you'll be able to pass judgment on people that have been reported. And this means people that troll in games, people that don't play properly in games, intentionally feed, and stuff like that. So, I want your guys' opinion. Do you think the Tribunal is a good idea to give actual players the power to pass judgment on players which, well, get reported? Or do you think it's a wasted idea that you think shouldn't really go across? What do you think, guys? Leave your comments in the comment section below, and I definitely want to see what you guys are interested in, because I personally think the Tribunal is a fantastic idea, giving half-decent players, and I mean like the honourable and players that genuinely want to play this for the lols, literally, lol, and genuinely want to play this game for the fun and everything, to pass judgment on the guys that just go literally play the game just to piss everyone off. It's not fun at all, and I think it's quite useless. So, leave your comments in the comment section below. I would definitely like to see your thoughts. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we're going to jump straight into this. It is the Champion Lowdown of the week, where we cover the champions that you have to look out for this week in the free rotation, brought to you by Riot Games. Games that make you go riot. Oh yeah, sponsor for the week. Okay, here we go. Starting off with Blitzcrank. He is a tanky champion. I have seen him build tank, but some people like to go tanky. And he is a really good AP, and in some cases really good DPS as well. I've seen people go quite mixed on Blitzcrank, so try your builds out for him. Now, what to look out for: he is a fantastic initiator. Fantastic initiator if he knows what he's doing. Now, Amumu has his Q where he bandage tosses someone, tosses a band-aid, flies towards him, and the dude is stunned. In this case, Blitzcrank has a similar thing. He shoots an arm, but when it grabs something, he brings it towards them. Now this is why it's a great initiator. Just think about it. You're a squishy champion. Blitzcrank comes out of nowhere, grabs you, brings you towards him, and you're right next to him. And then what does he do? He knocks you up in the air. Now that's really bad. And then just think about it. The entire enemy team's around there, you're dead instantly. Blitzcrank is a great initiator, so you've got to be careful of that. His ultimate can come out of nowhere and do tons of damage if you just don't see it coming. So be very careful of that as well. Blitzcrank is a formidable force. You don't want to take your eyes off that robot, that's for sure. Now let's go on to Malphite. Now I've seen many people go tank on Malphite, and I haven't seen many people go any other way with Malphite. However, if you have seen other Malphites out there, by all means leave your comments below to help everyone else out. Now with Malphite, you got to be quite careful. He does have a slow, which can be very annoying from the early game, because it shoots a disc right at your face. And when that disc hits you right in the face, well, you just got hit in the face by a disc. How do you feel? His passive as well gives him passive armor from the very start of the game, and when the armor is shredded, he then goes into lava mode, which pretty much boosts everything. So you got to be very careful of Malphite. He can come out of nowhere and completely rape you. He is a badass tank, but that doesn't mean he can't also do some badass damage to you as well. So be careful of Mr. Molten Malphite. Morgana. Now this is one of the more interesting mages of the game. The ability she'll mainly be concentrating on this time is her snare, which, depending on who she hits, will snare them. Now, just think about this for a second. If you're in a team with Blitzcrank and Morgana, Blitzcrank can bring them in, knock them up, Morgana snares them, you're pretty much not getting anywhere anytime soon. And think of all the slows as well. This is going to be crazy. So be careful with Morgana, she'll be concentrating her Q. A lot of AoE damage as well. And also, she does have a spell shield, so if you guys are thinking of doing magic damage to people, well, be very careful, because Morgana can come out of nowhere, put a spell shield on someone, and if you're casting magic damage on that champion, well, they'll just survive. So be careful about that from Morgana. Now Nunu, he could be a tank, he could be AP, he can kick your ass if you're not careful. Why? Because he's a Yeti and ready to roll. Now with Nunu, you need to be quite careful and quite ready for what he has in store. His ice ball attack will hit you, slow you, and do a lot of damage to you early game if he is built right, which is actually quite scary if you think about it. As well as this, his ultimate is pretty darn deadly. Think about it as the same radius as Galio's ultimate. However, instead of taunting them, it slows them, and once it's detonated, the longer he charges it up, the more powerful this becomes, by the way. And when he detonates his ultimate with people inside of it, it does an humongous amount of damage, and I mean humongous. So just think about this as well. Blitzcrank comes in, grabs one guy, Nunu goes in front of the guy that's been happening more towards the enemy team, activate his ultimate so that they're all getting worried and such, and then your team just rushes in. This is going to be a crazy week for all these really great combinations, so be careful. Nunu, really bad formidable force, tons of slows, tons of pain, tons of tanking as well. So be careful of Nunu. Rise. Now, Rise can be underestimated. I've seen many people underestimate Rise. Yes, he's squishy, but that doesn't mean he can't back up his squish with a little bit more power behind him. Now, depending on what ability he's going to go first, you want to be careful regardless. His Red Bull probably does most of the damage. His Red Bull will be the one to look out for. His Bouncy Ball, as I like to call it, will bounce to literally every single enemy within a recent vicinity, so you need to be careful of that one. And also remember, he does have a snare as well, so that's 2 snares already counted for in this champion rotation for this week, so you definitely need to be careful of that. Rise can be a formidable force and can have a lot of ability power very soon if you do not keep your eyes on him, so keep your eyes on Rise. See what I did there? Singed! Now, he is a very, very, very nice tank, but also a very effective AP if you know how to build him right. Singed is probably one of the, I would say hardest, but I've only ever played Singed once and I epically failed at it, so I'm not even going to go into that, by the way. He is really formidable, and I mean really formidable. He has the fling, which is everyone's nightmare. He gets close to you, he'll fling you towards his allied champions, he'll fling you towards turrets, he'll fling you away from the dangers so they can concentrate on other people. He'll just fling you left, right and centre. As well as this, he has poisons, he has slows, and forgetting his ultimate pretty much boosts his movement speed and his ability cooldowns, and pretty much makes him an incredibly formidable force. So if you're dealing with a Singed, yeah, you better not whinge, so be careful with that. Now Teemo, the little warrior. I love Teemo, I'm a great Teemo, and I think Teemo is excellent, so you got to be careful with this Teemo. However, you can go 3 ways with Teemo. You can make him DPS, AP, or hybrid. Teemo, you'll be looking at a lot of poison damage if he's going DPS, because if he's going attack speed, he'll be doing a lot of poison damage very fast. However, if he's going hybrid, he'll do even more poison damage to you, because poison is affected by his ability power level. So be careful of if he's building AP or DPS or even hybrid. He is incredibly squishy though, and is a prime target to go for first. So keep your eyes out if you want a target to go for first in a team, and there's a Teemo on their team. Friggin' go for it, go for that Teemo. And speaking of squishies, let's go to Kog'Maw, who is another big squishy and another potential first target champion to go for. You need to also be careful of Kog'Maw's range. He probably has the best range in the game thanks to his ultimate, which can come out of nowhere. He can pop it, he can break people's concentration, it can just rape, okay? It can literally just rape. So watch out for Kog'Maw's range. He also has a slow, but remember, incredibly squish equals incredibly kill-tastic, so you gotta be careful and keep your eyes open, because that Kog'Maw has range and he can come out of nowhere with his ultimate and just go all over your face, so you don't want that, and you don't want that to ruin your day. Now Swain. Swain is the very interesting champion of this week in my opinion. We haven't seen him free for quite a while, and I love him when he is free because he is a fun champion to play as. Now he also has a snare, which will mean we have a trifecta of snares this week. Ooh, 3 snares. Doesn't look too good, does it? You gotta be careful of Swain though. A lot of ability power damage, a lot of pain. A lot of continuous pain as well. His ultimate pretty much boosts all his abilities, as well as giving him a kind of spell shield, and also giving him a crap load of spell vamp and lifesteal as well as. So you need to be careful of that Swain. He can activate his ultimate and just pretty much just walk around the place and go blah, 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 all over you and potentially kill you. Watch out for that Swain. He will build ability power. Will build ability power. Sorry about that. I went completely crazy. He will build ability power. He will get powerful, and he will not be sorry. Be careful. And now, last but not least, Lee Sin, the Blind Monk. Now, contrary to popular belief, no, he does not start at level 18, and no, his roundhouse kick does not knock you directly into your allied nexus and blow it up. You got to keep your eyes out on Lee Sin though, because all his abilities are combos, and if he combines pretty much all of them together, he could be a pretty nasty piece of work. You got to be careful of that Lee Sin. His roundhouse kick is pretty much kind of like a think of it as Singed fling, but he has to actually be in front of you in order to kick you back at turrets. So you want to be careful of that. That is the champion rotation lowdown for this week. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have any tips and tricks for the people at home, leave your comments below and help them out, because as we all know, a strong community is a community that plays, has fun, and friggin' rocks together. So let's make this happen, guys. Rotation this week, be careful. And that is the end of that, ladies and gentlemen. I will see you guys next week. So, a very short ending again, I apologise. Goodbye, fair strategist, goodbye, and I'll see you guys on the Field to Justice and Rotation Roundup next week. Whoop!